Okay, good morning, everybody. Playing some more Freestrider Lookout after a pretty exciting weekend playing the card. Unfortunately, I fell a little short of top 8ing the Showcase Challenge with the green-red crime deck. I ended up starting off 6-0, ended up finishing up 7-2, and missing top 8 on tiebreakers. That being said, someone else top 8ed with the green-red Valakut crime deck on Saturday, and kind of simply put, I have just been so incredibly impressed with this card. Um, it's like there is I think maybe one good way, if you're not completely on board or if you've been missing the streams, you haven't seen Freestrider Lookout in action, is Elvish Rejuvenator is also it's the same casting cost. Not a very playable modern card. Occasionally I've seen some like Pioneer play. Enters the battlefield, look at top 5 cards in your library, put a land from among them on the battlefield tapped to rest of the bottom. Freestrider Lookout does the same thing the turn it enters the battlefield most of the time, especially when you have Mishra's Bauble and Relic to just do it for 0 mana on turn 3. Will very often do it on the turn it comes down and on your opponent's turn, doubling up the ETB triggers. And that's like a lot of times even if you just don't untap with it. If you untap with it, you're just continuing to go over and over and over again. And it's also a 3/3 reach. It's just like this card like times 4 for the same casting cost. And when you get that many values worth of card in the same casting cost, it ends up usually being pretty dang good. I think that Coffers is a really, really natural place to work on Freestrider Lookout. Where obviously, like, Freestrider Lookout's really good when you are doing more than just putting a basic land into play. Assembling Urborg Cabal Coffers is really nice, and we're also playing 3 Surveillance. I wanted to play 4. I think 3 is probably the right number in this build. But also digging for Surveillance is kind of nice, too. It's also, like, the green splash, I think, is, like, kind of extra nice here, because we've also just gotten Pillage the Bog, which I think is better than Profane Tutor in Coffers. It's different, obviously. Like, I think Profane Better is better to suspend on turn 2, but Pillage the Bog just makes your quality of top decks so much better. It just becomes, like, so difficult to be out top decked in the late game. Once you add these, I really, really have been liking Pillage the Bog. Also, you get to play Jegantha as a companion if you cut the Shield or Damnation. I think not playing Damnation in your Lookout build makes some sense. I think it makes some sense. Still have Marsh of Wretched Sorrow as like big sources of life gain when your ring's going on. I don't think that's such a huge deal. But I at the time of making this comment, I think Freestrider Lookout is modern staple. At the very least, it is just going to be stock in the Valakut deck. In my opinion, it is so crazy in that shell. I think it's very good in this deck. And there's also like a lot of brew potential with the card still. The card is just very, very, very good. Simply put, it is. I think maybe this would be a good way to put it too. I think if you want to play a value 3-drop in green, if you want to play a green card for 3 mana, and the idea is this is going to be like your grindy 3-drop or whatever, there's not a better card than this. There isn't a better grindy 3 mana spell in Modern. There are better combo 3 mana spells like Dryad of the Elysian Grove, Zusa, these kind of cards maybe. Although probably maybe not Azusa. But I'm of the opinion that this is the best 3-drop value card in the modern format, which is quite high praise. Getting to play Jegantha and Coffers is also just so nice. Okay, gonna mulligan or 7. I think I'm gonna mulligan the 6. This hand's pretty awful. So playing Karn in my Valakut Freestrider deck. No, I don't think Karn is better than Wish in that deck. So put back March and Karn, or try to draw a land and keep the Karn. I think it's probably just easier. Like it's just like a lot less tension if I instead of doing that, just go Swamp Relic, and then I can just try to surveil into action. So no Jegantha, Scalding Tarn. Or just draw action. Keep this so we can maybe double crime off the Freestrider. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. The chat is purple now. Yeah, Freestrider and Pillage the Bog in the same deck's pretty nice. I was for a little bit trying to figure out another shell that played both of these cards and kind of was failing to do so. So we mulled to 5. I'm just gonna play Bauble and pass. It's usually good to wait a turn in these kind of spots against Murktide, I think, where if they just have Expressive Iteration and Counterspell in the same hand, it's pretty annoying that I just passed the turn here. I'm gonna go ahead and cycle this Bauble though. So we'll keep land number 4. And then now I'm going to try to use the Freestrider Lookout as bait for Counterspell. Maybe we could have also just Jegantha in hand. Okay. So we don't need to tap the Relic now, since just wait for them to put something in the yard. Probably just going to bolt me, though. I have another fetch land already for my last Surveil land, so I'm just going to get Overgrown Tomb tapped here, I suppose. Nice to get a 2-for-1 after I mulligan to 5 on the play. Nice to be able to cast the ring through a spell pierce, so if they go like iteration and don't have another untapped land, we can resolve the ring. Do I board out Lookout versus bolt decks? I don't think so. I'm just like kind of usually happy if like we get this 2-for-1 here, and then we're also a Thoughtseize deck, and like Lookout is really, really good. And we also don't really have a sideboard. Like, although I guess I'm gonna bring in Pick Your Poison. You know, we're a Jegantha Karn deck. It's kind of hard to board out our proactive 3-drops that often. All right, keep focused on that graveyard. Put Jegantha in our hand. Get a Surveil going. Cottage would be nice in this spot. Probably shouldn't play it. Run out of subtlety. Dang. There's the iteration. Pretty good chance I'm going to end up cycling a relic here. So down to 15. Last Surveil land. Cycle. I mean, they've got a pretty telegraph counterspell. I think I'm still just chilling. If we can hit a coffers off this relic, then we can just like cast everything and overwhelm their counterspell mana potentially. Keep a card on top. Finds a lightning bolt. Good chance that was the card they kept on top. Let's go ahead and commit our crime. Do find a Cabal Coffers. 3 mana, put a Cabal Coffers into play tapped. Discard a Lightning Bolt. Not the worst play. Graveyard's a Murktide. I'm gonna pop this now. If I draw an instant speed removal, I may get to stop them from holding up a counterspell. So we're gonna take 6 down to 8. But their hand is like untap land, counterspell, Murktide. Oh, been nice. Oh well, you just don't have counterspell in your hand. You have Force Negation. No, our life total is not that high, but I think I need to cast this Thoughtseize. Yep. Spell Pierce and Spell Snare in hand. Can also cast Jegantha. So next turn they're drawing in again with the iteration doesn't matter that much. Oh, I break on my Freestrider Lookout and put a lot of gas to the bottom, and they're drawing a counterspell. So that was kind of an unfortunate couple things that happened there. So we got lots of mana, lots of cards. If my opponent accidentally gets Delirium, we could maybe just trade with Lookout right now, though I don't know that I necessarily want to do that. To play the land. I thought they hadn't played a land that turn. Maybe they had. Okay, so I'm down to 5. It's a good card, but resolving it through the Spell Pierce. Okay, never mind. Everything. This is gonna be an easy game. I am gonna go ahead and just lead on Relic, and I'm gonna commit my crime, which should be mana neutral. If I hit a land, which I should probably bank on, since I just put 5 non-lands to the bottom, and then drew like 3 more. So the Pillage the Bog is gonna get spell snared. Probably just pitch the Pillage the Bog, because we know they have Snare in their hand. If they found another counterspell off their iteration, which isn't like the least likely thing that... They also didn't crack the Bauble, so I guess it's kind of likely that they just do have another one. So maybe was wrong about this game just being easy. And I can't like bait the spell Snare on the Pillage to resolve the March. I guess I should probably target the Borrower, since I can use Relic to shrink the Channeler. And then do I feel like my opponent is just gonna spell pierce this anyways? I think the answer is pretty likely yes, and I want to be able to do the Relic. I mean, gaining 7 here up to 12, then down to 10 is gonna be pretty good. So we'll see if they drew another counterspell. I kind of think that they're in a Spell Snare, Spell Pierce mystery card. They didn't crack the Bauble, so like you would think that if they didn't have another counterspell there, they would have cracked the Bauble on their turn. But people love to get kind of wancy. This also lets me just attack for 8, because I don't need to worry about like blocking the. Oh wait, sorry, we know they have Ragavan. Can't attack for 5. Okay, so that was pretty good. Sad to like pitch a Pillage the Bog, which is just Demonic Tutor on the spot, but with them having Spell Snare, Demonic Tutor isn't very good. Yeah, I guess they're playing on discard, which was not the right play. Not the right play. So they keep a card on top. How do we feel like if our opponent like cast a Murktide Regent? How are we doing? The Murktide would be a 6/6. I think the upside of like my opponent like not having that and then having to attack with this Channeler and then I pop the Relic, eat the Channeler has really high upside. And it seems like they just kept this Preordain on top probably, so again, it could still be totally fine to pop the Relic. Seems pretty close. Get 1 on top, 1 on bottom. Then they attack. Seems like we're getting rewarded, but I'm not sure it was the right play. Sneaky reach. So they Unholy Heat the Lookout in response. And his Ragavan, Spell Pierce, Spell Snare, Mystery card. Not a bad one to draw. Draw 3. They had a Spell Snare, Ragavan, Mystery card now. Counterspell. I think we just take the Counterspell because this is 1 less type in the graveyard, which is pretty relevant. I also have no more Surveil lands. And just leave the Jegantha back to block the Ragavan / non-Delirious Channeler. Murktide? 6/6 Murktide. Have a lot of good top decks. Can draw March, can draw Pillage the Bog, can draw Karn, can draw Ring, can draw Forest for turn. 4 more cards. Okay. So now my opponent's hand is Spell Snare Ragavan, so I don't need to be too worried. I guess I could have made more mana by... That's right, never mind. Just don't always do this. I could have made more mana by committing a crime first. Just doesn't really matter. Okay. They concede to me just spending 30 mana on what is obviously a March of Wretched Sorrow. I'm going to bring in the Pick Your Poisons. Just the Pick Your Poisons, not the Haywire Mites. I'm going to keep in the Thoughtseizes. I think I'm going to board out the 4th. I don't know, maybe not. Just go down to the Baubles. Seems okay. Makes the Lookout's a little bit worse, but Lookout's still a pretty crazy card. I'm just even if they bolted, I'm just kind of happy if I can commit a crime on the same turn most of the time. Yeah, if you have multiple Lookouts, they do each trigger separately. Can go pretty crazy. I feel like a lot of your more mid-rangey brews lately share the fact that the One Ring is a core piece to them, right? It seems like a sign of a design mistake, in my opinion, when other value engines cannot compete for that slot. I mean, you're right. The One Ring is the best 4-mana card draw spell in Modern, and it is really nice that can go in a lot of decks. I don't always play it in mid-range decks though, but I do definitely play it in big mana decks. So I've been playing a lot of big mana decks because I've been on Freestrider Lookout. I agree. The One Ring was not a super well designed card. Salmon, 23 months. Thank you. Come back. Not the hottest take. One stuffy doll for Karn would be pretty funny. Or for March. But yeah, I agree. The One Ring is a design mistake. Not the hottest take. This is a control deck. Yeah, Coffers is what I would consider to be a big mana control deck. I wouldn't even. I would not call this a mid range deck. That is very true. It is black and it plays Thoughtseize, but this is more of like big mana control than mid range. No, Torment of Hailfire is not a modern playable card. It has been we have a command for suggesting it, but you should not ever register it in your modern deck and then be happy. Like it will be good when you sink 30 mana into it, but just like we don't need more top end. 10 is great. My slightly hidden banned the One Ring bait. Not hidden at all. It's okay. It's very natural. Like as a modern player, you have an instinct to come into the chat and then type a paragraph essay about a card you dislike using a lot of fancy words. But what you could just type very simply is, I don't like the One Ring. I think it should be banned. But that is that is definitely what I read when I read your comment. But again, it's your natural instinct to do so. And if anybody in chat has a card that they don't like and want to be banned, please now type, I don't like blank card. I would like it to be banned. And then we can really save the translation. My opponent's mulled to 5 again. Or wait, did I mull to 5 last game? I mulled to 5 last game. Now it's their turn. I don't like the One Ring. I think banned. Yes, thank you. I don't grief. No, the whole thing. What grief? What? I guess we could shorten this even further, just to the word grief. Mod abuse. 4 dogs. Mod abuse. Okay, 2 top, 0 on the bottom. Plays a basic island. Wow, second relic is so nice. Nice to 1-for-1 against the Mold of 5. That's what I meant. And also nice that like they're nulling this and not my One Ring. Good surveil here. The thing is my hand is really good. And I would kind of just like to get a second swamp. I just don't need a second swamp that bad. Let's surveil. Let's keep this, and then I'm just going to go ahead and slam the Freestrider Lookout. Again, my opponent's on the Mold of 5, and I'm just pretty happy to take a counterspell here with the One Ring and Pillage the Bog in my hand if they have it, and if they have a Bolt, I'm really happy. And if they don't have Bolt or counterspell, we're really, really happy. What I think my opponent has maybe is Subtlety. And they're like, well, I mulled the 5, and I have Subtlety blue card, but maybe I'll just concede instead, and cannot fault them for that one. Look up the audio too much. I'm going to keep this on the draw on the blind, I think.
What's up? It's me, your friend, Aspiring Spike.
It's me, your friend, Aspiring Spike. Opponent plays a basic forest and an Amulet of Vigor. We did beat Amulet earlier, but I also happen to run pretty dang well against them. Freestrider Lookout's on top, so let me go ahead and maybe save this Bauble to double crime on turn 3. And then my opponent can't quite play a ring next turn, so we should just be able to take both the rings. They would need to draw an Amulet of Vigor. And his forest, one ring, forest mystery card. Okay, pretty good for me. Yeah, I was trying to change the avatar back to Jade Avenger, and then I clicked it, and then it didn't change, and then I'm gonna try again. Click Jade Avenger, save choice. Yeah, I don't know why it isn't working, but it isn't working. Wait, let me change it to the let me change it to the Tiger, but it's not letting me change it to Jade Avenger. This is quite frankly an outrage. In response to this outrage, I will commit some crime. They're gonna Ode to War on my Freestrider Lookout? Sure. That's a crime also. I guess I could just keep this on top and then crack this Bauble, then use this next Bauble. Click Jade Avenger, save choice. Yeah, isn't Canister's avatar is Stalking Tiger, right? I'm so upset. So they get a Summoner's Pact that is ready to go next turn. Which is pretty scary, and I think I'm gonna Bauble on their turn so I can revolt a Dryad and kill a Dryad potentially, and then hope to not be dead. Yeah, I can't quite. I guess if I drew a black card off Relic and Bauble, I'd be able to live. But they shouldn't be able to double strike the Titan with what they have right now, so I think there's enough chance that we can survive for me to just chill for right now. Get a Surveil going. Ring seems keepable. It will be Two-Headed Giant today. Why swap from Claws to Relic? There's just like a lot of Underworld Breach prowess and Living End. Living End, especially in tournaments, a lot less so in leagues. That in these builds with no Delirium cards, I think it's better to play Relic. And so slightly worse Crime Committer in exchange for worse Crime Committer in exchange for better card overall. Just kind of depends. The special seems horrible. We beat it earlier. Am I not like ahead right now? Like I'm just gonna I'm gonna take 8, and then they're gonna have to pay for pack next turn, and I'm gonna just have millions of mana in play and the One Ring, and I'm gonna kill the Titan with the March. How about cover Karavex to recommit crimes? I Karavik could be okay. I mostly want to play that card with Grief, so we could maybe play that in like black no coffers with a green splash for Lookout. But I think like look the 2 life loss on a 3-drop is also pretty rough. So gonna besiege you my Cabal Coffers now, it seems. So maybe I'm gonna lose. I don't know. So I don't think I'm going to use Besieger's ability because I do want to draw the ring. And I think what we'll do is okay, that maybe changes things. Let's just see what we find here first. If I like surveil Cabal Coffers to the top, can like draw it off the ring potentially. Yeah, but what I think I'm gonna do is just go like let them pay for Summoner's Pact, and then like their hand is like Forest, Bounce Land, Mystery cards. So I guess if they have another Titan, they can maybe win. So maybe I should ring. Isn't Karvek really good with March? No. Karvek, if you've untapped with Karvek, you have tons of mana, then you have March. Woohoo! But really good is should be a term reserved for better interactions, I think. All right, I'm gonna play the ring. I'm not 100% sure because obviously we let them get the Titan trigger, which is a big problem. But we also like can't die, which is I like that part of this equation that we're at kind of immortal. Head should be the last card you saw with Bauble. Right, but they have a new top deck too, don't they? Yeah, if that card is just like if it's just a Titan, we're gonna lose. And you know the problem, of course, is that they are going to be able to put a Titan into play off this Titan. Karn Tithing Blade. I think that's probably worse than just marching the Titan on their turn because we get the extra crime trigger and can try to coffers. I guess I'm kind of hoping that they put a. I mean, they're not very likely to just put a Dryad into play, but Dryad and Sundering Titan could be good. They do get Valakut and Teleria West. He just sound like cop. Can we go a week without committing crimes? Yeah, I know some people are sick of Freestrider Lookout and Magda, but this card is like an incredible breakout card that is like very likely. I think that this is the best value 3-drop, 3-mana green card in Modern. I think for if you're gonna play like just a value 3-drop and you want a green card, this is the best one in the format. And I'm just kind of super interested in exploring the application some more. Okay, they do nothing. I accept. Let's go ahead and commit a crime. We find a Cabal Coffers, which we were somewhat likely to do. It's worth a lot of mana. what Fatal Push into like plus 10 mana. Pretty good. Into another Cabal Coffers. So let's go ahead and commit a crime to maybe ramp both of these Cabal Coffers and extra mana. Better than Nissa. Better than Nissa. And this is probably what competes with the most. This card is also like really a 3-drop where Nissa plays like a 4-drop a lot of the time. But, you know, yes, this card is better than Nissa, in my opinion. So I guess what I should probably do is just go Karn, Stonebrain, Titan. Well, yeah, I think so. Karn for Bridge. I'm just going to Stonebrain Primeval Titan. Well, I guess if they have Cultivator Colossus, we do get pretty cooked. Maybe I Stonebrain Dryad. Then we still die to the hasty stuff. March 1st. Well, I'm just also going to march. I don't know why we'd need to march first. Maybe I name Summoner's Pact because they have Teleria West, which is something I kind of hate. But yeah, but if they just get Cultivator Colossus off the Pact, we are in bad shape. Yeah, I don't like it. Lose to some top decks. I could march for one less and then play the relic and commit a crime on their turn, but I just see if the one life ends up mattering more. I might even just not attack with my Freestrider Lookout for the same reason. Nab the Colossus then. Well, if we nab the Colossus, then they just bounce Tolaria West and they just kill me with Titan. Like, yeah, I think it has to be Summer's back because of the Tolaria West in play. I'm gonna attack. I'm gonna be that afraid. Is there a possible Jissa is modern playable? Which Jissa? I have looked at all the crime cards again. I'm looking like a little bit closer at Karavak, but okay, gonna level, I think. Let me level with you. Or I could just Stonebrain again. Just Stonebrain again twice. So do you think Bridge was better? Maybe. This also like loses the Titan though. No, it's not better. I feel like they could just besage me kind of easily if they go pack for Cultivator Colossus. Can't remember the last time I Stonebrained someone 3 times in the same spot. Prime. Evo. Okay. Oh, no, think I was fat fingering the keys there. So they have no Summoners packs in their deck either. So, if they just natty draw Cultivator Colossus, we'll see if we're dead. Okay, never mind. What's one more Stonebrain, huh? So this is how you beat Titan. And then they still don't concede. Coming for their Arboreal Grazers next. I don't think we're going to die to pumped up Arboreal Grazers. I don't think we're going to die to Urza Sagas either, but my opponent is not conceding. Dude is so unlucky. It's a brick game. I guess we have like basically every land out of the deck. Oh no, so can't even Stonebrand the Grazers. Okay, so literal demonic tutor, I think. Not that we really have that much juice left in the deck, I guess. I'm gonna grab March of Wretched Sorrow and just gain a shit ton of life. I'm just playing for a time. It's okay, we won't time out. This is deck not one Insatiable Avarice. I think you mostly just want to play the card with Bowmaster and Shieldred, and we don't really have room for those cards. Pretty sure I boarded in the Stonebrain last time. Could boarded Needle and name like the Hastelander Tolaria West. Let's do that, I think. I'm gonna keep this one. Try to save the Bauble for the Lookout. Hopefully the Haywire Mite slows them down significantly. But it leads on a Myconith Garden that has an amulet. Can try to save both Baubles at this point. Having fun with Showcase List. Did you try it with Titans and stuff like that too? There ain't no card like Primeval Titan, brother. That's a one of a kind original right there. I've not played Primeval Titan in that deck, nor do I think I would prefer to play it over like Wish or like over the Magnas, but could write a 1,000-word essay on why you would play it if you like. Do tomorrow. It's better to sandbag the Urborg. I don't know. Okay, goodbye. The One Ring. Hello, Freestrider Lookout. Or goodbye, Amulet of Vigor. Hello, Freestrider Lookout. There's a Dryad. 4 cards still in their hand. Plays a Valakut. You know all about that, huh? Plays a Boseiju. 2 cards left. And another Amulet. Okay, they have 1 card left in their hand. Potentially very scary spot. We'll get to know if that top card is how scary it is. Land's good, spell's good. Okay, so that at the very least has their Valakut online. But hopefully their last card is not a Primeval Titan or Summoner's Pact. If it is, we go to game 3. Pillage the Bog, great draw. Loving the Pillage the Bog in these decks. They play the Gardens. Let's respond. So we'll know what they're drawing next turn also. Another Cabal Coffers. Dude, three mana, put 2 Cabal Coffers into play. So sick. Summoner's Pact is on the top at the moment. Do they have another one in their hand, though? Seems like the answer to that question is no. Yeah, just 3 mana Primeval Titan. Okay, so we can push the... Okay, so I guess let's just start off. I'm going to fetch a... Well, I don't need to fetch. You can just pillage first. There's a Karn. So let's grab Karn. Coffers again. I am 2 mana short of winning the game with Sundering Titan on turn 4. Pretty unlucky. If only I had drawn Karn. I'd have it, and then have to pillage the Bog would have enough. So we have 5 mana left after our Fatal Push. My opponent's top card is Summoner's Pact. I think I'm just gonna go Fatal Push and then Stonebrain Primeval Titan. And then also Surveil. Might as well keep that on top. If I had Chalice, I would probably just Chalice on 0. But I guess it's kind of bad against the Boseiju that's in play. But they also don't have a bounce line as their last card because they would have Valakuted twice probably. So they boarded out some rings. It looks like they brought in Dismember. I'm gonna spike OG account. I still have it. I played it. So right now I'm playing all tournaments on the Aspiring Spike account so I can get Mox leaderboard points on it. I have some from earlier this year, and I guess also from Saturday now. I think I got some points. They played Otawara, which is a choice. And then I think I'm playing most leagues and stuff with Inspiring Timmy. Stormbrain Valakut. Well, they already have a Valakut in play, so I think I'm just gonna Stonebrain Dryad. So I'm not really dying to Cultivator Colossus here. So I could have also made 1 more mana off the second Cabal Coffers. They have Colossus in hand? Oh. I somehow missed that. We're still just not dying to it. We have protection from everything. They have no no like win cons. They also just can't do that much with it probably. Want to Sunder and triple Stone Rain them? Yeah, Sundering Titan to kill 3 lands, probably pretty good, but like with them having double Amulet, it's like not the cleanest. Because they can go bounce land into Colossus into Dryads maybe. Friday Night Magic, 14 months. Thank you, welcome back. Another month where Jund Roots is my favorite deck to play. I definitely like that deck a lot. Been a little while since I picked it up though. So normally this would look pretty scary. We have Stonebrained, their Dryads, and their Titans, and we have protection from everything. So this trigger may take a little while to resolve, but not the scaredest. Friday Magic with the 14, thank you again. And BW with the 28, thank you. Okay, so they're going to have 1 spell in their hand at this point. And a big Cultivator Colossus. I guess it's shrinking a little bit because the land's being bounced. So they're also going to pick up Otawara. Has Titan played enough mountains to get Valak without Dryad? No, they usually play 0 mountains, and they're just completely reliant on Dryad for mountains. We Stonebrained them a couple times. I sure did not see 6 mountains in there. Should they not pick up a Sage to get my Urborg? That's what they're doing. I don't know if I really care about this, though. It'd be funny to, like, Karn Coating and kill this. So I'm just going to Graveyard. Like, turn this into an artifact. And I guess they just have other artifacts to sacrifice. So let's get some mana. Well, I guess I don't. I can just go. Try to find an Urborg. But I really even need the mana for anything. Okay, opponent, good. Luck, I guess is the word. You obviously saved this for a crime, but I'm just gonna get this down. All right. Evan, 59 months. Let's go. And same with the gift episode. Thank you as well. You all are doing well. Thank you for the continued support. Could not keep the stream going without you guys. Surprising me a bit about Lookout is they're alive. Well, in this matchup, they're just going to live. But we just played against Murktide last round, and it's just like we play it, we commit a crime, we get the trigger, and then it dies a lot of the time. But like that's just a 2-for-1, baby. All right, Cabal Coffers, like Liberty Prime, back online. Their top card is a Spelunking. Like sometimes even like they're just tapped out for a turn, and you go Lookout, crime, untap crime on your opponent's turn, and then they kill it, and they've just been 3-for-1. So we don't find a march. Or I boarded out my marches, right? So I guess I'm just gonna take Karn and then get the Tithing Blade or Cityscape Leveler. Probably one of these seems a little bit more powerful, I guess. Game's over. We're gonna, pick a poison the. Like I think there's a pretty reasonable chance with how good Lookout has been that this will just end up being close to what stock Coffers looks like for this intermediary modern period. But it's on a mold 6 on the play here. Yeah, it is wild how much better Freestrider is than Magda. Kind of simply put, its effect is a lot stronger than Magda's effect, but it is like just three mana versus 2 mana is usually kind of like a tiebreaker in these kind of situations. Okay, let's hope we're up against Living End, huh? I'm gonna lead on Thoughtseize here. Because if they just have a threat turn 2 and they're not Living End, we definitely want to try to take that. Yeah, it costs 50% more. They are on Living End. This hand is good against the Living End. I'm going to take the Curator of Mysteries. Yeah, the Lookout was not a card that was even on my radar when it went to the when it came to the Thunder Junction PowerPoint. Like, kind of simply put, 3 mana creatures you have to build your deck around usually suck. Lookout is good because you get to trigger it the turn it comes down for 0 mana, and kind of turn the like build around effect into an ETB that can even trigger on your turn and your opponent's turn. That's why it's good. These kind of effects again are not usually very good, so I just kind of dismissed it. Without giving it too much thought. And then, after playing a lot with Magda, I ended up being pretty impressed with Magda. I like Magda a lot, and I was like, this card is really good. And so I gave a second look to all the crime cards. I need to give it a third look, I guess. But after playing with Magda, I'm like, this was the only one that looked like it was really promising, and it has just been so good. It has just been, like, maybe the best Outlaws of Thunder Junction card, which is just, I think just kind of goes to show, like, you just can never make a full evaluation until you start playing with cards. Yeah, I guess that's also love Violent Outburst being banned. Can just fetch really safely here. Easy keep this card. Can I play both in one deck? Yeah, you can play both in one deck. And I top 16 the Showcase Challenge with the Red Green Crimes Valakut deck. I think that deck is very good. Someone else top 8'd a different that challenge that night with the almost the same list, like a couple cards different. Like Sideboard, I think, was like 2 cards different. I think the main deck was the same. I might be misremembering a little bit. But yeah, yes, that deck is good, and I recommend it. Poor opponent. Although it's hard to feel too sympathetic for Living End gamers. Picked up a Magda RCQ top 8 draft. Never drew it, lost immediately. Should I have taken $5 Reanimate instead? I haven't played any limited of this format, but is Reanimate not like... Is that card not like a bomb almost? Good Lookout be put to use at Wilderness Rec decks. I'm not the most excited about it there, but maybe. So they drew a Curator. We're probably gonna Edict that with the Mingu tech of Tithing Blade. Oh, sorry. For some reason I thought I had 6 mana here. It's okay. We another Karn. I'll just minus and probably still grab Tithing Blade. Maybe could just grab the One Ring. Grab another Relic. Reanimate is okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's any like combos with it, but just the ability to like on turn like 4 like double spell seems really nice. Or like just kill your opponent's bomb, reanimate it. Seems like it could be crazy. I'm not certain reanimate is a great card limited. Yeah, again, I don't actually know, but my guess would be that it's really good. Bridge seems better than Tithing Blade. Well, I'm gonna win this game by attacking. Bridge also doesn't get Besaged, which they could have. Yeah, you just go to discard turn 1, then reanimate your biggest creature. Seems pretty good. My opponent suspends Living End. Cool. Tithing Blade is also a win con. It's good, but it needs other things to go with it, so it's not a bomb like the other cards. Yeah, it may just be like a definition, semantic-y kind of thing, but it doesn't seem like you need much with it for the card to be incredibly good. But yeah, I agree, it might not just meet your definition of what a limited bomb is. So you get to blow up all of their lands? Tithing Blade feels like recent addition. It's from previous set. Yeah, I mean, I Tithing Blade was like really on my radar after like a Mingu tweet. Um, it was. I don't think I even talked about it for the spoiler video. I just kind of missed that this like being an artifact was really nice as a card target. I'm pretty sure Mingu was the one that figured out the Tithing Blade tech for coffers, which is really I think it's very good, especially at the Leyline Scion metagame. I feel like it's essentially mandatory. Okay, I think through three relics, my opponent is and also drawing two living ends, they're going to put a 5/5 into play. And then, they're gonna lose all their lands and lose the game. 6/6 with Exalted. The average format's probably bomb, but I thought it's Dungeons is juiced. Yeah, okay, sure. Seems like a very fair assessment. Three, four. So you do get to keep a land now, opponent. Downright generous on my part. Should probably tutor something to play around like Land Beside You, I guess, as their last two ones. Yeah, okay. Back it in. So we're up a game against Living End. Now we don't have a lot of stuff in the sideboard because we are pretty geared game one. Pick Your Poison gets rid of. I guess they're not even, like Leylines are not even very good against this build. They stop like Thoughtseize, but they kill a lot of their creatures. But maybe Push is better because they can the 4 drops for 1 mana can be kind of good. I don't think I want to play 4. I may just have to. I think I'm gonna board in the Nihil Spellbomb. I think I'll board in the Leveler and the Ring. I think I want to keep in all the marches, and then just go down to like 1 push. Click the submit button. Although like my Karns are a lot worse, I guess, with the Nihil Spellbomb being gone. But Karn can just grab Bridge or Stonebrain. Like Stonebrain, if they haven't done the thing, sometimes kind of slow, but also Bridge. I think that's probably fine. Boarded Needle for Beside You. I don't think I'm scared enough about Beside You to do that. I think the first Fatal Push will have text. Like, you'll push like part subtleties and curators and griefs. Like, maybe we should even have 2. I reveal Jegantha. We're on the draw here. Kind of hard to mulligan Thoughtseize Relic on the draw with. I know we also have like multiple draws to like a land that fixes our second land being Cabal Coffers. I think this is going to be a clear keep. Could end up getting a little punished if we Thoughtseize first and don't draw a land that taps for mana, because then we won't necessarily be able to cycle Relic in time. I think I'm still just going to look at their top card, then Thoughtseize them. Yeah, so I can take the Force of Negation to get the Relic through, but it just might not be fast enough. But I can probably beat an Architects and a Curator because I have Fatal Push, and then I also do have 2 looks at just a land that taps for mana to win the game. Okay, there we go. Not only a land that taps for mana, the best one in this spot. Win the game is exaggeration a little bit, but to be in very good shape. No, just run it back after the last league. I mean, it's just not going to change that much, right? We could switch some of like the 4-ofs in the main deck a little bit, maybe, but because we're like a Karn Jegantha deck, they're just not going to change a ton. Okay, I'll tap the Relic and then just grab my Surveil land. Pretty okay with this outcome, since I have these Cabal Coffers. And that was also their hand is Architect's Curator, mystery card. Wait. Architect's Curator, Ardent Fleet, mystery card, sorry. Favorite Freestrider brew so far. I mean, we top 16 the showcase with Red Green Valakut. Crimes. I think that deck is very good. I think Freestrider is super good in that deck. I think Freestrider has also been like just kind of phenomenal overall, and have kind of not felt like I found a spot where Freestrider isn't shining. So if this doesn't get forced, which it won't because their hand is, or I guess it gets cycle, right? But if this doesn't get forced, which I'm just gonna put Jegantha in my hand and hold up the sacrifice. Yeah, we played a little bit with draw off. I was not like super happy with it. I don't even necessarily feel like it's better than Mentor. It's being blue is nice, but it also just kind of isn't super unique, and um I did not end up playing with it very much. Was kind of thinking about it some this morning, but is you're off the bat blue mentor. Yeah, I thought because it was blue and then you can make more power toughness as the turn comes down, it would be like better. It doesn't seem meaningfully different, really. It has, upsides and downsides, and then we did have a sick run with mentor recently. Mentor is still not like a particularly amazing modern card, of course. Yeah, I think it's probably good in the like standard / pioneer monastery mentor helping hand decks. Okay, 3-0-6-0 this league. Deck is looking really nice. 3-2 the first league. Lookout prediction. We've had a lot of 4-1s with Lookout, and then a top 16 in the Showcase Challenge, but no trophies yet. Mulligan. Guess I'm putting back Lookouts, like either that or Pillage the Bog, and we just, kind of classic Coffers draw. I think Pillage like dig for an Urborg on turn 3 is maybe going to be good. Well, that is a super Thoughtseizable hand. Also happy again to be main decking 4 relics. I think Bowmaster's a crime enabler is too low impact. Bowmaster's is not a good crime enabler because it's 2 mana to enable crime. Like, you really want your enablers to be 1 or 0 mana. Like, Relic kind of counts as 0 mana because you can play it preemptively. Obviously your opponent could draw into the Bowmaster and then do the ping, but you're just kind of winning anyways if your opponents are drawing into Bowmasters. You kind of have to sweat these surveil lands, I guess. Oh yeah, I should have taken the Archon. Okay, definitely keeping that one. So now I can pillage the bog for something else. Did you make top 16 with the Wish version? With the Wish version, it should be in the Mox field. I also posted it to Twitter. But I was playing Wish over Scape Shift, which I liked. Got to play Jegantha. I was playing a Feed the Swarm in the, or Weather the Storm. I keep mixing those two cards up. Weather the Storm in the sideboard as well. They Thoughtseize me instead of themselves, which I'm happy with. I was pretty weak to the Thoughtseize Archon Persistent. Takes the Karn, so I think we're going to just plot the Pillage the Bog this turn after we play Urborg. Yeah, Wish was definitely an upgrade, and Relic was an upgrade to Claws, and the deck was already good like in the first draft, and it was very, very good on Saturday. Unfortunately, couldn't convert. We started off 6-0, finished 7-2. Very crazy last few matches. I guess they only have 3 surveil lands. Kind of scary to not have the Relic pop available, but feels like I should go for the ring here. I also wait on the Relic. I've got plenty of mana, and they could potentially have a disenchant effect for it, and they could also just not play around it here. Were they misplays last 2 matches, opponent just drew better? I ended up streaming my last 3 matches. I did have a hand hider, but so I guess we can't know 100% or whatever. But I felt really good about my plays. I don't say this. I know what this like. It sounds very salty, but I genuinely feel like all of our opponents had like very close to best possible hands, and like almost every turn of the last 3 matches, like People who are here could tell you, like, our opponent's draws were nuts. They were really, really good those last 3 matches. We won one of them. We beat the living end player, but their draws were really, really good. It just, Magic is tough sometimes. I don't really feel like I made any mistakes that were clear. Nor do I feel like I mean, I definitely didn't make any big ones. If there was any, yeah, the prowess one was tough. The domains, my domain zoo opponent had Leyline Scion, um, with one drop, all 3 games, or maybe they might not have had a one drop game 3. They definitely had Leyline Scion all 3 games. Yeah, it was, and we also like our breakers also could have been better since we started off 6-0, but they weren't. But it was okay. It was a good run. I was happy with the run. Um, and the big thing is Freestrider Lookout is just this card is just so freaking good. I love how well it plays with Pillage. Just like really turns it into demonic tutor. Okay, I was gonna Sundering Titan them. So we're up a game against John the Reanimator. Oh yeah. We also drew really well too, especially against Living End. We drew really well. Maybe not every game, but against that Living End player, we drew really, really well to not just be dead. John the Reanimator. I guess we'll bring in Nihil Spellbomb. I think we should probably be boarding in the ring a little bit more often than we have been. Maybe just trim like one of each of these. They might just have like a lot of cheap creatures. They probably have Fable in their deck. Any changes I'd make? Probably some. I don't feel like super confident. I wouldn't change a lot. I would try to change the sideboard some. I would maybe play like 3rd Wish over 4th Magda. Something you could, and then lead into the Wish board some more. I kind of wanted a Vesuva in the sideboard for Wish, but I kind of like just having the Boseiju as a land to get. Does this shelf feel as powerful as the Valakut shelf for sure? It seems about the same power level, I guess. Yeah, like I think this build is very, very good. This build plays pretty differently because it's like a control deck instead of a combo deck. But I do think Freestrider is very good in this deck, and it still has kind of a combo deck with Cabal Coffers. What makes you board in Karn? What makes you board in Karn board in these kind of decks? The fact that we're playing a lot of spot removal spells, and that we just don't want to have this density of spot removal post board in these kind of linear matchups. So it's a kind of at this point better for, like, you have to make sure your Karns are still good is the balance. Make sure you kind of still have a plan with Karn. But once you have that, I think you want to be trimming some of the fat for some of these targets just to some of these freaking removal spells. And it's just that dynamic when you play Jegantha and you have a Karn board, your sideboard is going to be pretty taxed. I like bringing explosives, early creativity protection. Yeah, explosives could be good. I guess they're just I don't know why I thought they were like janky reanimator deck. They're obviously creativity. We just saw 3 persists. So it has to be Rin and Sixer, Bitter Reunion. Discards Nasty Terasti. Could be a fast one. See, we surveil into a relic. Okay, so we'll try to save the Bauble for crime committing. My opponent also maybe has boarded out some persist. You would think that would be pretty reasonable when you got main deck relic so hard. Play Fabile. Bauble will be a fun draw. Creativity is kind of scary. I think I should just do this though. It's really nice to be able to block the shaman token on these kind of boards, because then they can only creativity for 1, and we're probably doing okay against creativity for 1 if they hit Arcana, not Terastodon. I'm gonna go drink some water real quick. Be right back.
What's up? It's me,
Okay.
your friend, Aspiring Spike.
Block. Discard Dwarven Mine, Scalding Tarn. So if they hit Nasty Trasty, oh, okay. If they ridden 6 and don't creativity, laughing all the way to the bank. 4 cards in their hand. Running pretty well today. Discards an Archon. So I go land. I have 5, 6, 7 mana. I think I should not look out this turn. Let's take a peek in their hand. Take the Bitter Reunion. I can't Karn with explosives up. I guess, I mean, I could take the Picker Poison and just play the ring. The thing is, I just have 2 rings and lots of mana, so do I really care? I don't think I care. Funny enough, maybe the Lookout was the the best play, though. Maybe we should have surveilled first. Karn Pop Explosives. Yeah, I could go Karn Pop Explosives main phase, but just killing like Treasure and Dwarf doesn't seem correct. You know. They're 1 mana away from hardcasting. 2 mana, right? They have 4, 5, 6. This goes 8. Reflection has a 3 mana value. Flip side. They draw creativity. How much have I looked at Freestrider Lookout Saga Brews? Probably like 25 hours of work on those lists, and I think that the mono green and green red builds and Jund builds I've had have been worse than this deck and the Valakut deck. Okay, so yeah, surveil here in response to the surveil. Yeah, Relic pretty good with my Freestrider Lookout and good persist insurance. Also can maybe break up Rin and 6 plus Besage you. Remember to play your Relic before your Lookout so that it doesn't just die to removal spell without you being able to commit a crime first. Ding, ding, ding. Alright, Relic, you've done enough for us. Well, they're targeting Dwarven Mine. I think I'm still popping. Get the Beseiju, we get 3 persistible cards, stop the Dwarven Mine. Don't necessarily think that they drew creativity. They could have here. They took Ring over Karn. The last card's just an Archon, right? I don't think that hasn't changed. Oh, you can just March X0. Yeah, I mean, we're just... Well... yeah, no, I don't think you're supposed to do it here. That is actually pretty relevant. You can just 1 mana commit a crime, huh? 3rd persistible thing. Did I say 3? There's only 2. There's only 2 there. We got the Beseiju 2 targets and the... Okay. Activate Cabal Coffers. I guess that's actually not right. We should probably... Yeah, just go March X equals 2 and let the Freestrider Lookout trigger resolve first. So we get our coffers house for an extra mana if we hit a land. Another coffers. They don't make another blocker. Let's just do a mana count. 8, so I have 10 mana if I legend roll my Urborgs, which is 2 mana short of Sundering Titan. My opponent is a mana away from casting the Archon, which we know is in their hand. I could Stonebrain Archon. We attack, I guess attack them. Yeah, Karn can also commit crimes. Kind of cute, right? Yeah, I think it's kind of weird, but kind of just want to plus. Oh, I guess the treasure token just they can't Archon because the treasure token is just turned off. So let's just, I think, get explosives. Play it on 0. Put Jegantha in our hand. Hold up explosives. Yeah, I could have also got the ring that's in exile, I guess. I'm scared of Terastodon, though, so, like, stopping them from being able to creativity this turn feels pretty dang relevant. They put a card on top. I put a can minus and attack the Karn. Stop me from getting something here. My opponent also could no longer creativity if I pop the explosives, so I think we should pop it. Oh wait, sorry. I thought that they played the Wood of Foothills then fetched. I should have double checked. They actually do have their land drop. Do they play multiple Trestodons? Yeah, they do a lot of the time. Sorry, I thought that they had already played their land. Looks like they don't have it anyways. Now I'm still not playing a Walking Ballista, which I haven't really missed. Just kind of have to win like we like have won all our games, but just have won like a turn later. Like we're just gonna probably Sundering Titan them in this spot and play Jegantha. We are 4080, which is a pretty good record. Removal spell. Could mulligan our 7. But I probably would have sideboarded it a little bit differently. For some reason, I was thinking they were like, you know, Janky, Jund Reanimator, Brew. We're up against Merfolk God. Maybe I should have looked at their username before finishing on my mulligan decisions, but I'm going to keep, you know, anyways. I'm going to keep this Swamp as well. I'd like to see one copy of Insatiable Avarice in the deck. Is that just crazy? I mean, it's not crazy. The card is fine in coffers. I at the moment there is not a card in my deck that I would cut for it. But if there is one that you feel like you would cut for it, I allow it. Is this Hammer? Hard to imagine that I should be putting back a Fatal Push. Yeah, it is cool that Coating can commit crimes. We haven't tried to do that. Doesn't necessarily sound that exciting. Almost want a Jegantha in hand because they're just so likely to make a Saga token, but we should probably not. So can't really afford to tap out for Karn right now. I do want to try to bait them into getting a hammer off the Saga and walking into my double removal spell. Maybe they even have Surge to protect. If they have 2 Surges, you know, we get got. I guess the problem with this though is if they just have another hammer, they get to grow the constructs. Okay. But this would have also protected no matter what. Sword of Light and Shadow is very funny here, actually. So now we want them to not have another play. They didn't play a land yet. There's a land. We drew Cabal Coffers? Feeling like Doomwake right now. Okay, so they can't equip because of the Karn. Gonna be a tough one to lose. So I have 5, 6, 7 mana. I think I keep this one. So let's just see if this resolves first. I think I'm just gonna, well, if I needle Inkmoth and then explosives, it's kind of bad. I can't really get Ensnaring Bridge too cleanly. Yeah, it should just be okay. Could also just hold up explosives. Okay, up a game. Got some sideboard cards. Poor Hammer. Maybe I cut the relics. I think Lookout will just still be pretty good. Maybe I want one relic. Marsh is kind of bad. Let's trim one, maybe. I think I kind of want to bring in the 4th ring also. And kind of pillage. Let's try this. Hand's pretty slow. I would probably mulligan on 7, but we're not on 7. We are on 6, so let's keep. Pillage has been really good. I think it's better than Profane Tutor, and I think it's worth splashing for. The Surveillance are also really good. The Pick Your Poisons are nice to have access to. I just, at the moment, really like the green splash. Okay, so they've kept a 1-lander. They did also mold to 6. Dingo calls this card Dig Through Slime, which I really like Dig Through Slime as a name. Do it. Do it. They name Verdant Catacombs. The first time ever I'm rewarded for being F6. Let's fucking go, dude. Whew, is the plot relevant? Yeah, it's relevant. You'll just kind of do it on turn 3 if there's not like a 1-drop you want to dig for. You'll do it if you're playing around discard spells against control. It doesn't come up that often, but it comes up maybe more often than you might expect. If that makes sense. I think they're going to concede to me casting Karn the Great Creator here. Say GG's. GG's. 5-0, 10-0. Let's go. And let's also run it back.